Yes, sir. What's going on, folks? This is Terez Paylor, your chief beat writer for the Kansas City Star. And we've got 3/4 of the A-team here in the yet-to-be-named KC Star podcast studio, which is itching to have a sponsor, by the way. Holler at Star Sports editor Jeff Rosen if interested. But anyway.
Hey, how can we ramp up that sponsorship drive? Because it's about 5 weeks in now, and we got nothing.
We've tried groveling.
We're going to keep doing it. We're going to continue to be excellent. How about that?
Okay.
Have you considered playing hard to get?
Yeah. I thought about that.
Sometimes that can be too effective.
I thought about that. But I tell you what, I like to take the direct approach.
That's good.
In all things.
Just
it served me well in life.
Be excellent, and it shall come.
Because if it's awesome, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're asking for it. Anyway, I've got Holla Mad, Sam Mellinger. I got Hannibal Vahe Gregorian. And our man, Blair Face Kirkhoff, is on assignment, covering the national championship game. Shout out to Face, man. That's first love, college football. I'm sure he's a happy man right now. But we've got a replacement in the house, soon to be former Star Royals beat writer Andy McCullough.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
I'm great, Terez.
Thanks for joining us.
I got a lot on my plate today, so I really had to squeeze this in.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
This is good. I'm here to talk about football.
Yeah. Did you watch the game?
I did watch the game.
All right, so you're going to have some.
Chiefs won.
It was important for you to watch the game because we built in a segment for you, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I've set it up here. Listen, folks, we got a great show for you guys today. First of all, we're going to break down the Chiefs' dominant wild card win over the Texans. We're going to bring back the scouting term of the week. We play another version of who he played for. And I thought about shelving our weekly segment of Old Man Football because Face wasn't going to be here. And he created it. I mean, that's his game. But you know what? I figured, hey, man, Andy's pretty curmudgeon-y. He's got the market cornered on that in a lot of ways.
I also haven't watched football religiously since like 2004.
Yeah, that's
I'm basically
perfect. Yeah.
Whatever takes you have are going to definitely fit under that.
Love the
old
spread
man
offense.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Here it comes.
So why the hell not, right? We're going to do it. Speaking of Andy, we're also going to debut a new one-time only segment called Andy Asks, where, Andy asks us questions about football. This is going to be great. Yeah, so just hold off on those for a while. All right.
Until this podcast is turned off and we've all left the room.
Just give us a second. And then finally we answer your reader mail. And what you guys have all been waiting for, we reveal our Chiefs-Patriots predictions. But first, like we always do about this time to name our grown-ass man of the week. And Sam, I got a hunch. I think I know who your selection is, but let me hear it.
You mean the same guy from every week?
Oh, do you now?
I have a hunch.
Well, I might just surprise you.
Okay.
In my mind, I think there's like 3, 4, maybe 5 like pretty good candidates.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with Dontari Poe.
Ooh, you did surprise me.
Didn't see that one coming, did
No.
you? I think he continued to, just kind of wreak havoc, tear apart the inside of another offensive line. And I think that one thing that, one of the disconnects, probably the biggest disconnect between us and fans is that we don't see the broadcast. So I don't know how much the broadcast focused on this, but that interception that Hoyer threw at the goal line, which was obviously an enormous play. Mm-hmm. It was a terrible throw by Hoyer on at least 2 levels. But Poe really forced him into it with like this kind of NBA point guard crossover swim move where he just embarrassed the center. And it really reminded me of, I think it was Poe's rookie year when he did that to the Cowboys. And I remember just thinking like it was the first time that Poe just kind of made my jaw drop. And he did that again on that play. It turned into a huge interception, and that wasn't it. He was good throughout the game. So he gets my grown ass man of the game.
Hey, let's hear it.
My 2 candidates would be, of all things, Eric Fisher, who game 1 against Houston was widely perceived anyway to have had a J.J. Watt flu that kept him from participating. But the other, and this is the one I'm going to go with, is Chris Conley. Because that catch he made in the back of the end zone, I'm not sure we appreciate how good that catch was and all that went into it, including the fact he'd never run that live with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
That play. Chris said after the game, that play wasn't called for me. He meant because it's a Jeremy Maclin play at a pretty crucial time. So, guy kind of comes up out of nowhere in a way and makes a pivotal play. He's got my grown ass man, GAMOTW. He's got my Gamatwa.
We'll take it.
Of the week.
That's the wa at the end.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
Andrew, you watched the game. Give us one.
The game. Eric Fisher.
Yeah.
Just beat the crap out of J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
On the one play, you mean, when he was down?
Yeah, I watched that one play. Well, it seems like he hurt him so bad that his groin needs surgery now. So, good for him. I also considered Joey Porter, Mike Munchak, and anyone else I recognized from the other game.
Yeah.
Quick aside question before we let Terez give the real answer. The Fisher thing, I don't know if this showed up on TV. Maybe Andy can remember, but that play where Watt was hurt and Maclin was hurt, a lot of the focus in Houston was on Fisher completing the block, shall we say. And when the camera showed him down there, widely booed, really booed, and he was loving it, like, bring it on, which to me is a different side of this cat.
Got his Sean Smith on, as they say.
Yeah. So just sort of an aside, and hopefully not influencing the jury here, Terez, but what do you got?
That was exactly the reason why I'm picking Eric Fisher as my grown-ass man of the week. Because, like you said, they showed him on the Jumbotron after the replay of him shoving Watt into the ground. It was like a close-up of the side of his helmet and face, and they just let him have it with boos, and he was gesturing to him like, bring it on. And I thought for Fisher, who's a guy who, look, man, I've been here for his entire career now. As a rookie, second-year guy, I didn't see any of that attitude. There was none of that. But this year, like the rest of those guys on the line, he's playing with a real, chippiness and attitude you need to have to win in this league. So many guys are so similar physically. Where you really win in this league is with mental toughness and by physical toughness, being tougher than the other guy. So I think Sam was a really good candidate, but I think my selection is definitely Fisher, and I think he deserves it. I thought they stood up to the challenge of the Houston Texans physically and mentally, and they beat them pretty good. Now you're gonna need a better effort to win this week against the Patriots, and we're gonna get into that. But first, let's take a deeper look at this win, 30-0, huge win. It was the Chiefs' first playoff victory in 22 years. It snapped an 8-game playoff losing streak. It was their first postseason shutout in club history. It was the first time, and this sends them to the divisional round for the first time since 2003. And it continues their franchise record 11-game winning streak. So there are lots of positives, and we'll get into those. But perhaps the biggest story out of this game was a negative, right? Because Jeremy Maclin, their leading receiver, a team captain, hurt his knee. And when he was being carted off, he looked pretty emotional. But we did see him walking on his own in the locker room. And yesterday, Chiefs announced that it wasn't his knee. In fact, it was an ankle injury. Now, it remains to be seen if he'll play Saturday. But let's just assume it's significant enough for him to miss this game, right? If Jeremy Maclin can't play, I think the one thing people want to know is, okay, does this ruin this team's chances of making a Super Bowl run? So let's just assume he can't play on Saturday. Sam, where you come out on this?
Well,
Can this team still have a Super Bowl ceiling without Jeremy Maclin?
I don't think any injury this side of like Tom Brady, like the elite quarterbacks, I don't think there's an injury out there that can be a complete deal breaker for a team. But I do think that depending on what you think of Chase Daniel, maybe even including Alex Smith, this is the most sort of damaging injury that the Chiefs could have, and especially if you think about what the Patriots typically do. Their reputation is to take away the thing that you do best, and so if they had Maclin, then the Patriots are going to try and take away either Maclin or Kelsey. If you don't have Maclin, he's already gone. Now the Patriots can just focus on one playmaker. So I think it damages their chances, but I don't think that it ruins it. I think maybe we go from like, like the Chiefs having a 40% chance of winning to, somewhere between 30 and 35.
Vahe?
Totally agree. Obviously makes the job tougher, but I don't think it all ruins it. And look, I think this is a good example. I mean, Jamal Charles gets hurt, and basically they fill in with two guys you never heard of before. Mm-hmm. Chris Conley's had a whole year now, a whole season to get developed. He's not quite there yet, or we'd be seeing more of him somehow otherwise. But his sheer athleticism is off the charts. And he made great play, as we alluded to earlier in that game. He can do some things. He's not Jeremy. He's not polished that way, but he'll give them a little something, I think. One quick thing on Jeremy, too, and this is more a question than a statement. As far as I know, the Chiefs' statement yesterday on this was he has an ankle sprain. It's not the ACL. I've heard the game of telephone, it seems to me, passed along that it's a high ankle sprain. Do we know it's a high ankle sprain?
That's what Adam Schefter reported. The
Okay.
Chiefs didn't announce it.
Because I haven't seen it that way from any primary place, and there's a big difference, I guess. And despite my Twitter medical degree, I don't think I can really speak to that. But that's an interesting distinction, and I no reason to think Adams got it wrong, but we haven't seen confirmation of that. And they are two different things, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they are. The high ankle tends to linger a lot longer than just a regular ankle sprain. So if it was just a regular ankle sprain, maybe you can suffer your way through that. And although with the weather, you would think, I don't know, like it's supposed to snow, so that potentially you could, affect it. But Andy, were you able to get a sense for how much Jeremy Maclin meant to this team in just a little bit that you watched? Just
no,
curious.
I mean, he's obviously a very good player. The Texans are kind of garbage. So it seemed like, that really didn't have much of an effect. It seems to me that the Chiefs' best route towards, winning in the playoffs is basically to win every game, 20 to, 14 or 20 to 13, So it's definitely hurts, but, I think the key for them, obviously, is their defense. That's probably what sets them apart and gives them a chance. So, Maclin's a good player. I don't know if he's even necessarily used to his optimized ability.
That's actually a good point
within this offense. I don't know if one wide receiver, really makes that big of a difference.
So during the regular season, DeAndre Hopkins finished with 70 more targets than Maclin. So that's the thing. You're probably right. If Maclin got the ball enough, he could have a 100-catch season with 1,400 yards, all that. But I actually do think it affects their ceiling because he's not just a speedy receiver with great hands. He's not just that, right? He has an attitude that has rubbed off on his teammates. He is the Chiefs' I'm just going to say it, I think he's their most competitive offensive player. I think he is the one that is the most cocksure. I think, on field, and that shows, and you need some of that to win in this league.
Well, question with that.
Well, and like Sam was saying, there's definitely an effect when he's not on the field because Bill Belichick will take away your best option. So if you want to take away Jeremy Maclin, you can't stop Travis Kelce. It's gonna be hard. You got to develop one resource to him. If you take away, but without him, now you can devote multiple resources to taking away Kelce, and now you make Albert Wilson and Chris Conley beat you. And you don't know if they can't, but they haven't shown they can either. And that's a significant thing. And Vahe, you had a question?
No, just this, and it's kind of a intangible, maybe even a silly thing, but I do think Macklin's attitude is rubbed off, and I think it's rubbed off enough that the residue of it's there, even if he's not able to play. Now, maybe that's just a guess. I mean, it is just a guess.
That's probably – I could see that. I thought it was – and you covered this a little in your column. I thought it was definitely significant that the Chiefs continued on that drive they were on and scored after that injury to Maclin. Because we've seen them lose games where they've had a key player get carted off.
Right.
They just crumble afterward, right? So I thought that was a significant thing for sure. And this actually kind of leads us to our next question here, at least my next question for you guys. How confident are you in Chris Conley and Albert Wilson and Jason Avant to make plays in the passing game this Saturday against New England if they have to? Vahe, kick us
Well,
off.
you know what's funny, and this is just off the top of my head. I don't remember Jason making any kind of look. He's fine, but he's in his twilight years, right? But I can't picture in my mind's eye him really extending himself for any particular play. I think he'll be reliable and steady, but I don't think he's going to do anything that makes you say, "Wow, that's a play that changes the game." Albert Wilson, to me, is a little bit of an X factor. We've seen him make some nice plays. We've also seen him get the alligator arms. I think a couple of times, at least while we're watching together during the game, we kind of wonder why he doesn't lay out. I wonder on that pass the other day that Alex Smith overthrew him on, if you really broke that down, and if anybody with the Chiefs were really able to be honest with us, was Albert Wilson running a little slightly different angle than Alex expected? And my money would be on, Alex could certainly overthrow it, but my money would be on Alex throwing it to the right spot over Albert running to the right spot. So Conley, again, to me, is sort of the X factor. I think he's the guy that has the hops, has the speed, has the ability to make some big plays. I think he's a really interesting force in this game.
Sam?
I think there's a big drop-off between Jeremy Maclin and Albert Wilson. And, one of the biggest drop-offs, without going through all 32, I would assume that the gap between him and Wilson is among the 10 biggest gaps of any team between their number one and number two. They played on Saturday, coincidentally, a team that might be number one in that with DeAndre Hopkins. But so I think that it's a matter of, because we talked all year about like the trust that Alex Smith has in Maclin and making throws to him that he hasn't made to anybody in the past, of just, expecting, the term is win the play. You expect Maclin to win the play. And I don't think that situation exists with Wilson or Conley. Conley's got all the talent in the world, size, speed, brain, all that stuff, but he hasn't done it. So I think that the difference is, instead of Alex, throwing a ball and expecting Maclin to win the play, they've got to scheme those guys open a little bit more.
And don't underestimate the fact that Alex trusts Maclin to not make mistakes.
Yeah.
So much of the Chiefs' offense is derived on what you do as a defense, in the sense that you have side adjustments. So mid-play, a receiver has to look at the coverage and run a certain route based on what they see. If Alex doesn't have confidence in you making the right decision, guess who's not getting the ball?
But interestingly enough, on that Conley touchdown, that was a read the defense pattern.
Oh yeah, Conley's a very smart guy.
And I don't, look, it really is one play, and I don't want to make too much of that. But the fact that Alex basically threw to the spot. Now he wasn't going to throw into the jaws of an interception there, but he threw to the spot expecting Conley to be there, and Conley was there. That's the kind of thing that I think ratchets up at least the trust.
I'll say this though, I think of all the tough throws we've seen Alex make this year, in the tight spots, into spots with bodies that, with multiple bodies, most of those throws are to Jeremy Maclin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He'll force it to Maclin.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him do it to anyone else.
The touchdown against, was it the Raiders, that touchdown in the end zone? They threw the ball through like three guys. That's the one that sticks out the most.
Absolutely.
He doesn't throw that ball to Albert Wilson.
And kind of leading to Alex Smith, if you don't have your best receiver, like you said, Sam, doesn't completely change your chances of getting to the Super Bowl. I think it affects it significantly, though, but it doesn't completely change it. The thing is this. If your quarterback can lift other players, that can make all the difference in the world. We've seen the Chiefs on an 11-game winning streak, and let's face it, Alex Smith's been pretty doggone good. Andy McCullough, tell us,
I'll be honest,
based on what you saw on Sunday, what do you think of Alex Smith? Does he look like a Super Bowl quarterback to you?
He almost was a Super Bowl quarterback before. I mean, the definition of a Super Bowl Eli Manning's won 2 Super Bowls. Like, Eli Manning stinks. I mean, like, speaking objectively. Well, right?
He doesn't stink.
We think he's good. You think Eli Manning's good? Doesn't he throw like 50 picks every year, like 25 picks?
Well,
Anyway,
I mean, like
Alex
Brian
Smith,
Hoyer stinks.
That's true. Yeah, Brian Hoyer.
Matt Castle stinks.
Is Eli the beneficiary of rule changes? Yes. Yeah. Could Eli have done what he did 20 years ago in that league? There was no.
Right.
So, but I get Andy. I totally get what you're saying.
I mean, there's a saying is he capable of taking the team to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Like he doesn't make a ton of mistakes. He's efficient, and that's capable of taking a team to the Super Bowl,
That's based on what you saw Saturday.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I have no idea who Albert Wilson is.
No, but like sometimes it's good to have someone with a kind of real clear.
Well, I mean, he almost went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. I mean, that was when he was with the Niners.
Sam, Vahe, you guys feel the same way?
I do, and look, Andy's point, and we've maybe talked about this before, but it bears mentioning again. The 49ers probably go to the Super Bowl that year against the Giants if Kyle, what's his name, Williams doesn't drop 2 punts.
Yeah.
Kenny's kid.
And so that sort of snake bit, and then he gets replaced by Kaepernick. He gets hurt, but Kaepernick keeps the job when they do go to the Super Bowl. And Alex was completing 70% of his passes that year.
Do you think Harbaugh would want a do-over on that?
I believe, but actually he probably wouldn't care because maybe he wanted to leave the franchise in tatters.
Okay, do you think
that the rest
Jed
of the
York
49ers
and Trent Baalke?
Yeah, I think
Is
they
that how you
would.
pronounce it?
Yeah.
Baalke. Do you think they would?
I think they would prefer a redo.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Like it was I think it was a defensible decision on their part.
It was.
With the younger guy and the higher ceiling and all of that. But yeah, I mean, look how it's turned out.
I think you're right. Defensible then, but they would want the redo.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, like Alex Smith has played 4 playoff games, right? Is that right?
Yeah, 4 playoff games, 1, 2. Yeah.
He lost because of the 2 punt fumbles, basically, right?
Right, and then
won a shootout against Drew Brees. Was not almost perfect. I mean, he was damn freaking good in Indianapolis. His team scored 44 points.
378 yards.
And then he was terrible in the first quarter on Saturday. But after that, he was pretty good. He was 17 of 22, right?
I mean, so he was basically 18 or 16 of 20 the rest of the game or something. There was
and it doesn't count, obviously, but he had it would have been a 64-yard run down the left sideline that was called back on what I thought was a kind of a bad call. I thought that was a good block by Wilson, but so that doesn't include what would have been one of probably the biggest gain of the game, right? 64-yard difference. So he can go. He can't. It's not Aaron Rodgers in his prime or whatever. Like he can carry somebody, but he can go. He's not going to hold you back. I don't think.
10 TDs, 1 interception in his postseason career. That seems all right. Yeah.
There's been a lot of. My last question for you guys is: there's been a lot of discussion about the punt returner. The punt return situation.
I still don't trust him.
Well, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Frankie had a nice little day. He did some nice things, and that's my question. Are you guys still pining for the next? It's okay. Are you guys still pining for the next guy, Albert Wilson? I think he'd be next up if Macklin can't field punts, and I think we also saw Steven Nelson fielding some punts in pregame too. So like Frankie Hammond, you guys still a little shaky? Where you at?
Yeah, I'm ready for the next guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's kind of too bad because I can tell I've made up my mind about this, and now that even when there's evidence otherwise, I'm like, but he's still not. He was more than fine actually. I thought on Saturday, but
he had a big return that was called back.
Yeah, and he's had a couple of those. Yeah. Frankly, if I can't remember that return, if the penalty was crucial to the run, if that makes sense, like
right.
And so that's a little bit of a funny argument about, well, if not for the penalties, the average would be even better. I just can never quite tell. Right. Like Alex Smith's run the other day, I think Wilson's block probably did help it, but it didn't take away from what that play actually was. It was great. So anyway, I feel like they're being in a defensive posture in a part of the game where they're used to attacking by having Frankie Hammond back there. Like that's what I feel like. And I feel like, why wouldn't you try Albert Wilson? I think he's had a history, hasn't he, with that?
My feeling is like one of the ways to judge these things is like when he goes back to field a punt, like how do you feel?
You mean like a real
what is your emotion? And for me, it's like when it's DeAnthony Thomas, my emotion when DeAnthony Thomas is doing it is like, ooh, this might go back.
Yeah.
But when it's Frankie Hammond, it's like, ooh, so they might be scrambling after a fumble. And that's my lack of trust with that. And especially like if they beat New England this weekend, they're not going to be doing it 30-0. And if he goes back and especially it's going to be rainy apparently, maybe even some snow. If he goes back there and the ball slips out, I mean that's absolutely the kind of thing that can turn a game. I don't trust him.
Okay, next question. Who would you rather see?
I'm okay. The only alternative to me really is Albert, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, this is maybe a funny question, and you guys can shoot it down, but the art of the kickoff return is different, of course, than the punt return. But there are some guys that are capable of doing both. What is it about Niall Davis that makes him not an alternative for that?
I think it's lateral versus vertical quickness.
I agree. You got it. Nailed it 100%.
Yep.
That's all that is.
Question.
Go ahead. What's up, man?
What are the roster rules at this point in the year?
There's no.
Can you sign someone off the street?
I'm actually not sure.
Are you gonna push for Brian Mitchell, something like that right now?
Well, I was gonna say
Funny you should
Dante
ask.
Hall, but Brian Mitchell. I mean, I would take Brian Mitchell. That's guaranteed 15 every time. I mean, great player.
You want to bring Dante Hall back?
Yeah, Brian Mitchell. See, like Brian Mitchell could easily be a special teams coach now in the NFL. Like I had this issue, as I mentioned this with Joey Porter the other day. Like Pac-Man Jones was talking about Joey Porter, and I honestly thought he still played for the Steelers because, But now all the players I know are all coaches anyway.
Yeah. All right, guys. Time for our next segment. As always, it's the football scouting term of the week, and I think you guys have. Maybe you won't. Yeah. Let me switch it up
The
here. I'm not gonna
pendulum
do
is
that
swinging in mid thought.
Yeah, just what?
I think you guys.
Because
are
I feel like
smart.
I've
No,
mentioned
you're
this
not.
before. I've mentioned this before, but maybe you won't pick it up. Like you guys know what a jag is?
Just a guy.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. I got another one, Dan.
By the way, I liked in your scouting report in the Texans game. I forgot who it was now, but a try-hard guy. I like that.
Wait,
Yeah.
NFL scouts use Jags?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
baseball scouts do too.
Yeah, they use it a lot. It's just a guy.
Yeah.
All right, I got a good one for you though.
Just
A dancing bear.
I think a dancing
What position?
player.
A dancing bear. What position does that apply to?
Defensive tackle.
Offensive line.
offensive tackle.
Offensive line.
Yeah.
Yep. Just a big guy with lateral agility, can move.
Is it usually just a guy? If you're a dancing bear, or actually, it's better. No,
No, you're
okay.
not. You're definitely not a jag if you're
Okay. 'cause
if you're a dancing bear. That means
Okay.
you can move and
Okay, so it's
mirror
yeah,
and match
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
It's not like you're like just
Can't believe I got
moving
that wrong.
strangely and wildly. Like okay,
Actually, you know what? You're really not wrong. Some people use it for defensive linemen too, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call.
Look at you,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
revolutionizing the game.
You're welcome.
I mean, it's just these are just terms. It's just for
Yeah.
big men that can move. Like Poe. Poe's a dancing bear. I mean, you can use it too. All right, time for our everyone's favorite segment.
yes.
Who he play for?
Oh, I thought
Just
it was old
three.
man football.
Not yet.
Dang it.
Not yet.
All right.
Just three.
Uh-oh.
Just three.
Do they have to still at least be active? Give us a better shot.
Yeah.
Quentin Demps, Texans.
Hope Dante Hall is one of the
Just get it off. Actually, Vahe. No, they don't all have to necessarily
All right.
be active. So that's actually a hint.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so-
All right.
First one, we'll start off with an easy one. All right, guys. Matt Castle, who he play for?
Vikings.
Well, I thought they cut him. It was the Cowboys, and I thought they cut him.
Oh yeah, they
so
did
it
cut
would
him.
Be like,
That's right.
did he get picked up after that, or did he not get cut?
We'll see.
He got cut and went to the Cowboys.
By the
You're
way,
right.
that interception that he threw against somebody on I think it was a Sunday night game, was like worse than anything he ever did in Kansas
Anything
City.
that Brian
He,
Hoyer did?
Kind of fell down once and then fell down again, and just threw it up in the air. It was hilarious. But Dallas would be my guess, but I thought they cut him. So then
QB
after that, it would
coach
be
at
Merrill Lynch.
USC?
Would be my guess. What?
Merrill?
QB coach at USC.
No, he just got benched.
Did you say
was the
Merrill
last I
Lynch?
heard.
Yeah.
bench with the Cowboys.
No, he just got benched. So,
That's good.
next one.
Wait, is it Cowboys?
Yeah.
He's still on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he just got
good for him.
benched. It was,
I thought cut.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Um,
Nice guy. Legitimately, like, he was
I
always
remember you
friendly.
said that
Yeah,
before.
he was always
Yeah.
friendly.
Cornerback.
Settle down, Eric Winston.
Sick.
Our next guy,
What's wrong with you?
cornerback Javier Arenas. Guys, who he play for?
Wasn't it Baltimore?
Any guesses?
I have no idea.
Isn't he with the Arizona Diamondbacks?
I gave you a hint. Merrill Lynch.
Oh, man.
I said he did not.
Did you
I
say
said
he was
one of
bullish?
them. I said one of them would not have to be active.
Did you?
I said.
Okay.
I said. Yeah. I said. All right. Last one. Glenn Dorsey. You guys remember him?
I do remember
The
Glenn
Chiefs
Dorsey.
general manager, right? That's right.
Glenn Dorsey. Who he play for?
That I don't know.
Packers.
I'm gonna guess. If I have to guess, I'll just guess the Falcons.
No. As a smart guess, our old friend Pioli's there. Nope. It's the San Francisco 49ers.
Oof.
All right.
We're really bad at this part. It really exposes some gaps in our game. I'd say.
Nailed that
Yeah.
Castle one though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't
No,
mean.
we're
we
just
mean
so
we.
we're just so zoomed in on the team.
That's right.
That's what it
That's
is.
all that
You're
matters.
right.
We're just so
Just
keyed in on
Lock
covering the hell
the
out of the
F
team.
Yep.
Yep. That's what that is. Next segment, and I think you can celebrate now, Vahe, because it is time to play Old Man Football, where we gripe or wax poetic about the way things used to be. Anything is acceptable as long as it's a football take that sounds somewhat similar to what an old man might say. And we're going to keep it simple this week. We're going to scrap the head-to-head format and just make it an open forum. Because we just want to talk because we're old men. So let's get around this room here. And Andy, I want to save you because this is going to be great.
Okay.
I want to save you. So Vahe, kick us off, baby.
Well, look,
old man football segment.
When pride, I always like to kick it off by saying when pride still mattered.
Right.
When football was as it should be, we played on grass.
Yeah.
All right, we played on grass. When I played for the West Enfield Indians in Pop Warner in Austin, Texas, that was on grass.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Then some years later, something contaminated the game known as artificial turf.
Hate it.
And some of us in this room broke our ankle in 3 places, tore 2 ligaments, and dislocated it in artificial turf. That's wrong. Okay? That's wrong. And there's a lot of concrete under this stuff. Still, no matter how much they refine the stuff, it stinks.
One thing about
So even though in Houston the other day they actually were somehow upgraded by making it a playable field by actually putting turf on there after the fiasco of the Chiefs opener with that rollout grass.
After they played at Loose Park, the season opener, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to stop kind of mid rant because I don't really have a point.
No.
That's sort of where it is.
now, one thing people don't know. One thing I don't think people know about you, Vahe, is you played a little college football.
Very
right?
little.
Yeah.
Played left out. Played left out for the Penn Quakers. But that was a championship team, and we go back and get introduced on the Franklin Field and wave to the crowd of 3,000 people. Nobody knows whether you played much or not.
Yeah. You're all the same.
Give a starter's wave. That's all you need.
Now, Vahe, didn't you play? You played on that old school, like that was the old school, like bright green, hard cement turf, right?
Yeah, it was. That
That's
was
what
sort
you
of
played on.
Yeah, you're right. Those were we were kind of the guinea pigs for the whole thing. That was at Sacred Franklin Field was the sacrilege of the turf at Franklin Field.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And then you get the carpet burns from going.
Yeah, in fact, that's what in the shower. I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking me up on this. For the staff to prevent staph infection, you had to spray down those spots on your body where you got the turf burn afterwards in the shower. I have no idea what that stuff was. You just knew you were supposed to do it. It kind of burned.
Just playing devil's advocate. Wouldn't you
the
play on the
trainer's
field
joke
turf
on you.
now? And when you prefer,
I guess it's better. We got out on that field turf to do our video the other night. It seemed kind of like it might be better
Little
than it used to
plush.
be, but it's still not grass.
yeah, it's not grass.
And
Right.
you won't get grass stains if you're not on grass. One other thing is that I do remember the first time ever being on turf, because we lived in Austin, Texas at the time, was somehow getting into Memorial Stadium in Texas, and they got the turf out there. And I don't know how you guys felt about what artificial turf would be like, but I figured it would be like a soft carpet, right? It's like the first thing you do is try to find a way to dive on it to catch a ball, and it was a horrifying
brutal.
experience. Yeah.
Painted cement.
Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. I when I played in high school, we had one of those grassy turf fields, and actually, it really was like a heck of a lot better. Like you didn't worry about going down on it. There was no I didn't have to spray my arms with anything. It was just it felt a lot like grass. Though the biggest issue you had with that, and this is not interesting to anybody, but it's just that you have like the rubber would get all up in your stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
Making a quick transition, Sammy, what you got?
Sort of another plane surface rant, if I can. But so we were just in Houston.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit chilly, I would say. Like, I don't know what the temperature was. I didn't wear my jacket walking in, needed it walking out. So like at kickoff, it was probably like 50, I'm just guessing, or whatever. But they have the roof closed. They have the option of opening the roof and playing football in the outdoors. Or closing the roof and playing a little indoor, game like you do in your basement. And screw that. Like, unless, actually, there's no good reason to have the roof closed. I was going to say, unless it's really snowing or really raining, but no, screw that. Play in the rain, play in the snow. This was football.
January football is the best.
Keep it closed for concerts.
Right. But January football, that's when it's cold and there's elements, and it's got a good look to it, a good feel.
So they were doing it for noise. Was that why?
I think so.
Idea? And,
I think so.
I know it's completely a phony way that this whole thing's done, but doesn't Arrowhead still have the, after using the atomic attenuator or whatever the Guinness?
They do.
Like somebody with a tuba was right in front of the microphone.
It's unbelievable because only like 17,000 people left of the game, and that's when it hit its peak.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But the point is, can't you be noisy without the stadium being shuttered in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Andy's got a good one here. Give it to us, baby. What you got?
Well, I guess I have a sort of grizzled point about football, but it gets to the entire public health issue that is football.
All right.
I don't understand what Vontaze Burfict did wrong. When I was playing football, in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania,
baby,
you were supposed to hurt defenseless receivers. The entire point was that if a guy was defenseless, that is when you hit him really hard.
Yeah, you knock
because
him out.
then now obviously doing that at that point in the game when you know the rules is idiotic. I'm not necessarily defending what Burfict did, but it points to sort of a fundamental issue with football. Is it the whole point of football is blindsiding people and hitting them really hard. You can't really do that, in any other walk of life. So I don't, and then the guy from the nerd offensive tackle from the Ravens tweeted out look at this dirty play that Burfict did when a receiver was running at him and Burfict just ran him over. I'm that's awesome. That is, and the crazy thing is I acknowledge. I guess this is maybe why I don't engage with football is because the things I like about it are the things that I obviously know are really bad for the players involved. So it's better to just disengage. But basically, I'm all for crackback blocks and stuff like that. You hit a guy, you hurt a defenseless receiver, not because necessarily you wanted to injure him, but because you didn't want him coming over the middle again, I guess.
Yeah, Andy, that's a great point because I feel in a lot of ways I miss when football just kind of owned what it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is a violent, barbaric game. Let's just call it for what it is. That's what it is. At its core, that's what it was. And because of the way the game used to be played, in the mid-'90s or whatever, when I was coming up, when quarterbacks it was just a more violent, more brutal game. But some of the best teams we've ever seen kind of came out of that era too. And I feel back then we saw some great champions, whereas now teams can win because of some of the rules. Whereas so again, maybe a Eli Manning couldn't have won a Super Bowl 20 years ago when he was getting slammed to the turf every game.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mind the rule changes in terms of letting receivers get open. I'm fine with having,
I get that too.
I'm fine with that opening the game up out there. It's more if you hit a quarterback with your helmet, you get ejected. Whereas when I was playing, and this was legitimately only 10 years ago, you got a star on your helmet.
Yeah,
and everyone at Monday was all right, big hit,
you got the special pride sticker.
What was your high school nickname, and did you get it? We got little tomahawks because we were the sophomore tomahawks.
Yeah, we were the Cardinals, so it was awful. We were really bad team my senior year. But if you if you like put your helmet under like someone's chin, like if you were an offensive lineman and you put your hat under like a guy's chin and ran him over, like you got a standing ovation at practice on Monday, and now like you get like suspended. It's just this sort of idea. Like the whole point is like, oh, you can't hurt the quarterback. The whole point is you hurt the quarterback, so you win the game. You hurt him. Like you don't do it illegally. You don't like kick him or leg whip him, but you hit him so hard he physically cannot play. Like that was sort of the point of football, and like that's been taken away. It's like it makes it difficult. You know, like I remember like that hit. This is great. There was a hit in the playoffs, like in 06, maybe in 07, where I think Reggie Bush got like hung out to dry by Breeze, and Sheldon Brown just lit him up. And it was like, and I literally was watching in my dorm in college, and I like screamed, I was like, yes, and like chugged a beer or something like immediately afterwards. And I was so fired up. And now like if that happened, there'd be like 1,000 hot takes on like, you know, like think pieces on like what this says. It's just like, we just need to acknowledge that football is a public health issue, and it's like really like, and just let it be what, I don't know. You can't design a better helmet. You can't stop the concussion problem. Like, you know, and this is why I don't watch, because I don't want to engage with this intellectually.
It's almost like if basketball removed the dunk. Like it's like the big hit, the violence. Like that's football's equivalent to the tomahawk slam. Like, and you take that out of the game, it, you know, for a lot of people, it hurts it a little bit. But I also understand the other point to it, where like there are a lot of guys really messed up after, you know what I'm saying? And I get that too.
But the thing is, like in 20 years,
and there's also a money thing too.
This current generation of players is going to be just as messed up, because it's just as. I mean, the game is ridiculous. No one wears pads. Like, you know, no one wears pads on their knees. Like, you know, everyone wears shells instead of like actual shoulder pads, because it's all about speed.
Did you guys? This is taking me something. Did you see what passed for shoulder pads on Abdullah the other day? He'd already taken his jersey off.
They're basically shells.
He's wearing shells?
The shell thing, I've never really seen them that up close. They're nothing.
Watching that before Saturday, the last Chiefs playoff win, I watched that game 3 or 4 times, and that was the first thing that sticks out at you when those guys get on the field, is how big their shoulder pads are. I mean, they look like it looks like a Halloween costume.
I think you mentioned that in your story.
They're enormous, and I don't know when that started to change. But that's the absolute biggest difference. It's crazy. It looks like a different sport.
And no wonder they can move faster, right? I mean,
There's quarterbacks too, like, you know, that need, you know, some flexibility in their arms. Like it was stark how different that was. Warren Moon's shoulder pads were like his head was barely popping out.
I was just gonna say, this is my last thing, but like, I played Pop Warner. You know, I played Pop Warner for like 8 years or whatever before I played in high school, and like my dad was one of my coaches, and one of the things that he would always say like is like 11 helmets to the ball, meaning like you gang tackle, like, you know, you want to hurt the running back, you know, you want, and now it's like, no, you can't hit with your helmet. Like 22 shoulders to the ball, but only at once, you know. Like, or you know, you say deliver the blow. You know, I'm reading this book about Walter Payton. It's like deliver the blow, you know. And now it's like, just get out of bounds, you know, and like let's get on and we'll snap the football again, you know. And so it just fundamentally, like, football, like, trying to be less violent makes it less interesting. And you know, you can tell because all 4 of these games were atrocious this week.
So you know what? It's also, you know, in some of the one other thing that's affected the quality of game is the fact that they don't hit anymore in practice. Yeah, they can't. Like they've got like 12 padded practices a year. So if a team really wants to establish itself as a tough physical group, they got to do it in camp.
Right.
And even those practices you only have so many in there too. So that's another thing that's affected the game. Yeah. I'm real curious though, Andy. What position did you play in high school?
I was a guard.
You were guard?
Left guard, yeah.
Huh. How good was your team?
We were very bad.
Okay.
We were really, really bad. They're great now, actually. They went to the Upper Dublin's been to the state playoffs like 5 years in a row. They went to the Final Four in Pennsylvania this year, actually, which was like really, really impressive. But we were 0-11 my senior year. Like, we were so bad. Yeah.
Were you guys a big school? Were you?
No. We were kind of caught in the middle, and that like it was like maybe I think like you know, senior class like maybe like 400 or something like that, and then playing against schools that had like senior classes like 1,000, and then the high school where I played had no feeder system.
Yeah.
Like I played Pop Warner at another high schools, like in that township or whatever. So there was no like Pop Warner or Bucksmont or any sort of league like leading you into it.
Were you like a good sized guard for your league? Like were
No,
there like,
I was definitely undersized.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
just
like
curious. Okay.
I was like 175 like as a junior.
So
probably,
you were
like,
going against tackles that were at least 210 maybe?
Yeah, like probably anywhere from like 200 to
Okay.
like 250 or so.
All right. Well, that's a little warm up for our next segment, which is Andy Ass. So, Andy, I'm glad that I gave you absolutely no preparation
Okay.
about this, but I'm sure you've got questions, reporter. So let's
Sure.
go.
Who should the Eagles hire as their coach?
Okay. Well, I'll take it. I think they
Put
should
the
hire.
phone down. You're
I
serious.
think they should hire Tom Coughlin.
Oh, that's
I'm dead serious. Tom Coughlin's a good coach, man. That guy's a good coach. Like,
The guy from the Jaguars?
no, he's
Failed
a
Jaguars coach.
no, he's
The guy from BC?
two-time Super Bowl champion. His players respect him. He instills discipline. He's gonna have a chip on his shoulder because he was fired by the Giants. Tom Coughlin's a good coach. That guy's respected. He's legit. That's why I think they should hire.
I'm like shell shocked.
Dead
He's like
serious.
70.
Tom
69.
Coughlin's gonna be. You know what they say though? Like those old coaches, man. They don't. You know when they retire is when they're gonna end up keeling over. You know, they don't keel over.
The Eagles need to hire Tom Coughlin to save him.
Yeah, it saves
from
Tom
keeling
Coughlin.
over. I think that's what Terez has just said.
No, but seriously,
Tom
if you talk
Coughlin from
if
himself.
you hear Tom Coughlin talk, he's still got plenty of juice. Like it's not like he is out of juice. That guy's ready to go. I'd go Tom Coughlin. Who are you going?
That's
who-
a stirring endorsement for Doug Peterson.
Well, I was going to say this isn't the answer you're going to want. You're of the, yeah, great for Andy Reid that he's kind of got it back together here, but thank goodness he's still not the Eagles coach.
No, I always liked Andy Reid as the Eagles coach. I always thought he was really good. I think there was a ceiling, but
You weren't ready for him to go?
It was the sort of thing they should have. It was the right move to let him go because he had kind of
Stale.
But he's still a
not
good
overstayed
coach,
his welcome, but it just wasn't going to get better there.
Yeah.
And I think he obviously has been rejuvenated, leaving there. And but it was still sad to see him go. It wasn't. I don't think any Eagles fan who actually like understands football, knows that like losing Andy Reid was not like a great thing. It was just a necessary thing.
So by extension, does that mean you'd be on board with Peterson?
I don't know. I mean, I know Doug Peterson is Donovan's backup.
I can tell you some good things about Peterson, though. He's got a good way with the media. That's important there. That's really important there, maybe more than a lot of other places. Philly media is vicious, and there's a million of them. He's got a good way. They're going to control his perception.
Yeah.
He's got a real good way with the media. Reid trusts him. He's earned more Reid's trust over the last few years. Seems like a very personable guy. I think I think players like him, and I think that they play hard for him. He's gonna have to hire a good defensive coordinator. He'd need to hire someone strong in that area. But Andy Reid was his mentor, and he learned a lot. He played in Philly. He knows the market. If they want to not hire the old geezer that I suggested, I'd definitely get Doug Peterson. I'd get that.
What
I'd
about
definitely get that. And you know what? Just one last thing. I'll say this. With them being in different conferences or whatever, yeah, I think Andy would if Doug ever had any questions.
Right.
It's an incestuous business like that. And Doug could always ask Andy, for advice or whatever. So.
I know Belichick probably wouldn't let it happen because he loved Chip Kelly and probably doesn't want to help the Eagles. But Matt Patricia, great pencil in his hat. Love it.
I got nothing.
All right.
In general, I'm not for hiring expatriates.
How has that worked out? Has
'Cause I think
has
that-
Kansas City tried that?
I just think that in general,
Has the University of Kansas tried that?
in general, man, those guys, it's Belichick.
Yeah.
It's all Belichick.
The expatriate to hire is not yet an expatriate.
The Lions didn't get that memo.
Can I ask a question under the Ask Andy Ask segment window about
just commandeering.
Belichick?
That's all
I know
right.
you.
Well, no, but this is to set up your glory. He was an idiot in Cleveland, Belichick.
Yeah.
So how do you go from idiot to genius? Of course, maybe some would say we've seen that in the baseball in this town.
Who's that? Belichick?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he wasn't necessarily an idiot in Cleveland. He took that team to the playoffs at least once, maybe twice. I mean, it's like it's the Greg Popovich thing of like if you win a championship early, you're able to kind of do whatever you want. So like winning that Super Bowl, which obviously they were not the best team in football the first year they won the Super Bowl. It was the Eagles, and the Eagles, But Belichick had Tom Brady, which helps. He was able to develop a system around him, which worked. They had a great defense, and he's always been an elite defensive strategist. So like, I don't know. I do think the one problem with Bill Belichick in Cleveland is every time like a coach like Chip Kelly comes in and does all these radical changes and he sucks, everyone's like, well, Belichick, wasn't great in Cleveland. It's like, yeah, he's the only guy who like did that. Like, it's not like there's a ton of examples of a guy just being a total like doof in his first run and then like turning into like the best coach in the NFL.
I'll also say this, like, people are adaptable, and people forget that if somebody is competent, it is possible for a coach to get better. You learn how to do things better. Like he was a coach in Cleveland for, was it 4 years?
I think it was maybe 3.
3 seasons, something like that, 5, something. It was somewhere like that. And like, you get better. You learn how to do something. Like, the longer you do something, the better you get. And if you're a smart person, you're just gonna get better at it.
And no doubt at some point circumstance is part of it too,
Sure,
right? I mean, no doubt.
Andy, what else you got for us, baby?
I think that's about it.
All right.
Just Eagles stuff.
All right. That's good, because we've got a lot of reader mail questions, guys. People are pretty interested in finding out what's going on about their Chiefs. So let's kick it off, man. Let's get this thing going. First question is from, who's this? Crumb Larry on Twitter. Is Justin Houston playing his way back into shape? Did you guys, based on what you saw, how does Justin look to you guys?
I didn't feel like I saw enough to really
I didn't
feel
see a lot of
anything,
Justin
except for it did seem like the Texans played him like he was a force, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they devote some extra resources to him that made some other things happen?
Yeah, I was. I also did not see enough to, to like you. I did not see enough, which makes me think that we saw enough. Because I was surprised. I thought he was going to be a big problem. And look, I mean, their defense was overwhelming in so many other ways that didn't really matter. So maybe we're making or maybe I'm making too much into it. I just thought that the Chiefs had been really cautious with him, and that because he was a full participant the last practice before the last regular season game, right? And so I thought they were being cautious, saving him for the playoff game. And he just wasn't. I don't know if I buy the rust thing. I think that's either you're good physically or you're not. Doesn't mean he can't get good physically, but I was surprised. I thought he'd be a bigger thing.
Quick stat for you guys:
Yeah.
Justin Houston played 69% of the defensive snaps on Saturday. Can anybody guess how many? The percentage time Vahe played?
Boy, I bet even less actually.
Yeah,
23.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have guessed like 40 or 50, but yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I've still got to do my film thing. It's going to be like a long week, but yeah, there weren't like a ton of like big splash plays from those guys. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to beat the Patriots, those guys are going to have to. They're going to need them, even if D Ford and Frank Zombo seem to be.
Here's a Tomba question within a question. So we saw the Instagram pictures Friday night of his significant other and the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did he join the team in Houston on Saturday?
No idea.
No idea. But that birth was Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not stating it. I'm asking if you know. But anyway, hopefully we'll get to talk to him about that this week.
It would be nice. It would be nice. I mean, I talked to him after the game, but in the heat of the moment
it was
and all
scramble.
that stuff.
Yeah,
you're just trying to get what you need. But, he has posted some stuff about him. So congrats to you, Tomba. Good for you. Next question is from KC Chiefs _58. After another deep ball to Wilson without him laying out and the missed toe tap on the sideline, is Albert Wilson afraid to give up his body? What do you
Football
guys?
fans are such losers.
Says the guy that just wants everybody knocked out and decapitated.
No, but like, I am raging against the culture of football, not the individual performances.
I don't know what's going on there with him not laying out for balls, but he won't lay out for a ball. The toe tap on the sideline, I thought he did his damnedest and almost made it work. It looked to me like he scuffed the back foot, or at least had the physical act of trying to do it. Like he did it as well as he could. I don't get the layout thing though.
Yeah,
There's a, I don't know if it's laying out. It's a lot of things, but like there's a pattern. Like it was in Denver, wasn't it? The Denver game. There was a ball toward the back of the end zone. He just kind of didn't reach up for it, really. I think it was the Denver game. Anyway, and then the ball in Oakland down the right sideline that could have been a touchdown. It just looked like dive. It looked like the Houston game. I don't think that he's like afraid or anything, because diving, especially for that ball in Houston, you're not putting your body at risk.
Yeah, not really. It's a different question.
Nobody's going to hit you.
Although he had an alligator arms moment this year too.
Yeah, there is a strange pattern though of him just dive, just dive for it. You know you can't reach it.
But when you dive though, doesn't that make you slower?
It really depends. It's a fine line there, right?
Isn't that like the sliding through first base argument?
No, I think it's different because if you dive, you're getting to the ball lower, so you might have a little bit more time to get under it.
Especially at the end of a route. It's an incompletion if you don't lay out for it, right?
I would just think sometimes
you can dive too early though.
Yeah,
sometimes
you got to time it,
like
but it's a beneficial
if you
thing.
mistimed it, like I don't know. It would seem like sometimes if you're just sprinting full speed, that would be your best bet. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think the difference in the baseball thing is
if
you dive to first base, you have to get low. You have to get to the ground to touch the bag, and which takes more time. And when in the NFL, if you're diving for a ball that's sort of over your head, you're diving out. That same sort of physical thing of diving toward the ground gives you more time.
But you're not necessarily increasing your distance.
I think you are, and you're giving yourself more time is the thing.
I don't know if you are.
Well, I don't know. We'd get a physicist, but you're definitely
I'd be curious to see
time.
what a physicist actually says about. Because I think about that a lot. Like, why don't you just dive? But it just seems like you mentally have to. You change your running.
Okay, so the baseball analogy would be a shortstop on a ball up the middle would sometimes dive for it to get low to get down there. Whereas if he just ran and tried to reach down, you're too slow.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
If you want the baseball analogy.
I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should buy it.
We need more helmet-to-helmet
You should pay full price for that.
More helmet-to-helmet contact. I agree. He's a prima donna.
Who is he again?
Who is it?
Chiefs Lutz 11 asks, what do the Chiefs have to do to slow Gronk? And Pete Scove 828 asks the same thing. How good are the Chiefs at covering tight ends?
I don't think they're that good at covering tight ends. I think Eric Berry is better than he's been, though. So maybe that can be a big factor. But I think there needs to be a lot of doubles or brackets, or I think that's the way that the Patriots are going to beat you.
Yeah.
No, the only thing I'd say is, I think they're going to have multiple types of schemes. I don't think we're going to be able to say it's just a Berry Gronk matchup, are we? Or are we?
He'll see some Berry. Also wouldn't be surprised if he saw a little Parker or a little Branch. Or even Sorensen maybe. There's people that are going to have to get in the mix here, and there's going to have to be a real focus on that guy because he's a physical mismatch. There's no one who matches up physically with him, and he's probably going to be a problem anyway. It's going to be one of those cold games. I got to get into my film work, but it's going to be tough. Because no one slows him down. It's going to be one of those things. Good question here from Rex. Flexi Rexy. Has Andy Reid already jumped to number 3 on the list of the Chiefs' best coaches? Number 1 being Hank Stram and number 2 being Marty. And then what does he need to do to be number 2, assuming no Super Bowl?
These lists,
who else has been?
They're just depressing, all these all-time Chiefs things. God, no offense, but that's just depressing. Yeah,
those are the only 3 to win a playoff game.
Yeah, God.
So you got Dick Vermeil.
Didn't win a playoff game.
Romeo Crennel.
Todd Haley, Romeo Crennel. Who was it before Crennel?
Herm Edwards is in the top half probably of coaches. Makovic.
Didn't want to play off.
I'll tell you what's interesting, though, about Andy Reid's numbers. We were looking at this a little the other day. I can't remember if we broke out a little charticle action on this or not, but he is now tied for 9th in NFL history in playoff wins.
Ooh, that's good.
Look at that.
With surprisingly, it's a surprisingly
Andy
low
like
number
that stat.
too. If they were, I think I looked this up. If they were to win the Super Bowl, and that's obviously a stretch, but that's 3 more wins. I believe there would only be 5 men in NFL history with more playoff wins than Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Starting with Chuck Noll at number 5.
I just think yeah, the answer is probably yes, that he is 3.
Well, here's a better question. Yeah, he's number 3. Fine, I'll just say it. Number 2.
After 3 years, by the way.
Has he surpassed Marty? Has he done that already?
I don't like the thing about Marty is that, and Carl Peterson, they kind of did it together, but sort of resuscitated, a dead franchise.
Yeah.
And I know, Andy took over 2-14 and all that, like a completely broken culture, and what he has done to provide stability and consistency to a franchise that really hasn't had it since Marty, shouldn't be overlooked. But that was, Marty did it for a decade. They were the winningest team of the 1990s. Andy's done it for 3 years, and it's been impressive. But
so what does he have to do to surpass Marty?
I don't.
Win
I mean,
Super Bowl?
at least get to
Get
it.
to a Super
at
Bowl?
least get to
All
it.
right.
At least get to it, and maybe even then.
But also be
he's
here
only
7,
been,
8, 10 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because even then, he's been there 3 years, and Marty would have been. It was more than 10, right? It was probably like 11, 12, something. But he was the winningest franchise of an entire decade.
Yeah. Chiefs
But
fans.
God, it's depressing. Like the chart about the biggest playoff win margins, and it was we only ran the top 5, and number 5 was 8, like 8 points, and it was just like I made this joke, but it might be true that number 6 was like a 3-point loss.
Well, how many playoff wins are there?
9 games, so.
Yeah, there's like 9 playoff wins, right?
Yeah, they're one.
It's a sad history.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs fans are already worried about going to Foxborough. K-Corn 24 asks, how will the Chiefs prepare for the, quote, headsets malfunctioning at the most important part of the game?
Great question.
I can actually answer this. One of the things that we did in our football preview section in August was figure out how a play gets called. And Aaron Murray told me that sometimes the quarterbacks still relay the backup quarterbacks still relay the plays with hand signals, and like sometimes that happens because headsets actually do malfunction. Like you have to be able to get your play in if you can't reach the top box. So that's how. I mean, you better prepare for every scenario because that tends to happen. You know?
When you play the Patriots, do you have to go ahead, Sam? Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna this will be the first playoff game in Foxborough since since the incident, right?
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, but to your point, I mean, do other teams now have to have checks and balances on things more than? I mean, can they ask to have certification of things? I don't know the answers to these things, but you would sure think that every team would want to do its utmost to know that things are on the up and up.
That was that Sports Illustrated story that Greg Bishop and Mike Rosenberg did, kind of talking about how other teams. This was before the season started. How other teams are very vigilant in like checking up on what the Patriots do. How like the Seahawks were like scouting, like the roof of the Super Bowl stadium last year or they were scouting like the mountains like outside their training facility or whatever, like in Glendale, like looking for like Patriots like spies essentially.
One other thing about like a quick thing about Foxborough that's a little bit of a tangent, but if there are Chiefs fans listening to this that are going to that game, go very early and expect to stay very late because that is the most inaccessible stadium, depending on how you look at it, with the possible exception of Green Bay.
And just to accent that point, I believe that's one of the reasons why, with 2 minutes left in that stupid Pittsburgh game the other night, that your star A team was openly pleased about the result of evidently going to Denver.
We wanted Denver.
Ugh.
Yeah. Instead, we get Route 1, right? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Right?
I don't know. It's
Highway 1.
It's Route 2-lane freaking
it's either
highway.
Route or highway, but yeah, it's not Route 2.
No.
But it's not one highway like we would call it here, by the way.
Yeah, it's basically Grand Boulevard.
7 highway, 40 highway.
It's a
So,
two-lane road.
so, so what are the odds? So what are the odds that we get a winter storm this weekend?
High.
guys?
99.4%.
99.4% or 98.7%?
The real question is the difference between winter storm and polar vortex. What are we going to get out of this?
Yeah, we'll definitely be staying a little longer in Boston than we want. Got some other stuff here. Interesting. How different are the attitudes of the 2015 team versus the 2013 team? How does one good team win after tough losses, after injuries or whatever, and another team lose those games? And that's from Calvin Esslinger. Well, honestly, the 2015 team has a lot of the same guys that were here in 2013. You live and learn, right? You take enough of those tough losses, you can kind of build on that. And if you're a mentally tough guy in the first place, you learn how to overcome them. And if you're not, you don't. Chiefs have found a way to take some of those really brutal losses. The Texans game, not the Texans, the Titans game, the Bears game, the playoff loss, and turn them into a good thing.
Yeah, I guess I would quibble a little bit with the premise of the question, actually. Like, if either Alex doesn't overthrow the ball or Cyrus Gray runs the wrong route, depending, or
You're
the
not
right
even
route,
saying it.
depending on, the margins are so small. I guess I just disagree a little bit with, like, the character of these, just because they almost won that game. And also this 2015 team, which, going from 1-5 to the playoffs, remarkable achievement, but they did fold in, the Bears game, for instance.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They folded before.
Yeah.
Like, we saw it.
They folded in that Packers game.
Yeah.
That was horrendous.
Yeah.
But an interesting thing to me, too, and I don't know there's no answer to this, but they come into this playoff, we talk about this all the time, right? What does momentum matter? But they come into this with 10 straight wins. They went into that playoff, 2 of their last 7 they won. How much does that matter in confidence and all that? It would seem to me to matter some.
Mm-hmm. Sam, you got a pretty good opinion on momentum in football. That doesn't.
I think it's overrated.
Yeah.
I do. I think that it's kind of a year-by-year, week-by-week thing. I think there are some things about this specific team in this specific time that you can take some things from it, but I don't think they're going to win just because they've been winning.
All right, just one more. This one's from Erratic Genius. All right, Erratic.
Andy, is that your handle?
Yeah.
My new Twitter name.
Some analysts are calling this the AFC Championship, implying that they believe the Chiefs and the Pats are the 2 best teams in the AFC. Do you guys agree?
Terez, that's why they play the games.
Thanks
Is
for
Chris
chipping
Berman
in.
still employed? No, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's one
really?
thing that hasn't changed since you stopped
my
watching
God.
football. His jokes have not changed since you stopped watching
You
football.
still doing that? Yeah.
I don't know if I don't agree with that. I think that
Yeah.
no, I don't agree with that
The
at all.
Steelers are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
this
any
isn't
one of the
AFC
4 teams
Championship.
can go to the
It's
Super Bowl.
completely.
I don't agree with that at
It's
all.
completely
Yeah,
up in the
these
air.
might be the
Who
best.
says things like
Whoever
that?
goes to the Super Bowl is the
Who
best.
has opinions?
I don't even know how to take that apart. I just think
Like,
it's
how much of our
complete
job
BS.
is just like clearing fields of straw?
81%.
I think all 4 of these teams that are left have the potential to. So we'll see,
I
man.
think when the Chiefs win, they're going to be declared the Super Bowl champions. That's what's going to happen, right? They won't
Right
have
after
to
they
play
beat the
another game.
Patriots.
Right.
Yeah.
They win their next 3 games.
Yeah.
Because this game has been determined to be
All right.
the championship.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, let's wrap this thing up. Let's hear your super early predictions for this game. Let's go. Sammy, I'm putting you on the spot. Who you got and why?
I'm going to make it real quick, and I'm going to say the Patriots win 27-24. Mark that down. I would feel a lot better about the Chiefs' chances. I shouldn't say a lot, but I would feel better about the Chiefs' chances if Jeremy Maclin was playing. They can win. I just don't expect them to.
I'm going to say the Chiefs win 24-20. It just so happens that one extra touchdown Sam thinks the Patriots are going to get is going to be nullified by a penalty.
Oh, how about that?
And we're both basically right. But seriously, I think I'm only going on this.
24-20 Chiefs?
Yeah, Chiefs.
Oh, look at
win.
that.
He's going Chiefs.
Yeah. And I think I'm only saying it because look at this ridiculous mojo that we seem to know right now in this town. It really has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
I just sort of think, why not?
Andy, give us a pick out of left field.
I say Chris Conley saves the day, has 2 touchdowns, walks across the stage, takes a bow. Here's the applause. Chiefs win 24-23.
All right. My prediction, lots of snow. Very miserable experience for your beat writers. 2 hours in traffic, going in and out. Going in and out.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And an ugly, low-scoring 13-10 Patriots win. I think the Chiefs take this as a game that they build on, and the whole talk this offseason is how they make a Super Bowl run next year. Maybe they prove me wrong. Maybe they win. That's where I'm at right now. And maybe my opinion changes after I dive through these hours of film I have to get through. But right now, that's kind of where I'm at. So, fellas, that's going to do it. If you like the show, please remember to rate and review us on iTunes. That's SportsBeat KC. It helps us, helps the algorithm. Please just do it. Also, remember to download our Red Zone app to stay on top of all your Chiefs news. And finally, shout out to our producer, Chris Fickett, for putting this together. Shout out to Kevin McLeod for giving us this badass music. And shout out to all of you for buying the paper, clicking and reading and buying our stories. If it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do what we love, which is covering pro football and what most of us love, right? which is covering pro football and telling great stories. So thank you for being out there and thank you for reading. Yo, we're going to be back in the studio next week, win or lose. Probably won't be Monday because of this inevitable winter storm we'll be stuck in. We're going to plan to be here on Monday, but I'm guessing we're going to be in Boston until the middle of next week. So for Sam, Vahe, and Andy, I'm your boy Terez. Thanks for listening. We out of here, man. Hit my music. Peace.
See you, Andy.
Ha ha! Yes, sir!
All right, guys.